Steph, you had a lot of time to have this one sink in even while you were playing. Just what were your thoughts as this was happening, as you probably understood that the season was ending and the way it did? What were you thinking?
It's a horrible feeling. When you go out there and compete, leave it all out there, and doesn't go your way, we obviously understand you can't win it every year, but there was so much belief that we could make something of this season and keep our hopes alive, trying to get a win tonight and taking it from there. Sacramento played unbelievable tonight. They played aggressive, and Keegan's making shots. D Fox is creating. It seemed like they got every 50-50 loose ball, offensive rebound, and it was a tough way to end our year for sure, because we've obviously been through so much all year. These last 2 months, gave ourselves a chance to be in this situation where you win one game, then you're right where we expect to be, but we're going home. So definitely frustrating, disappointing, to say the least. But you hold your head high knowing there's a lot more in the tank. And for me personally, that's the mindset.
After Clay has a performance as he does tonight, do you say anything to him, especially given that it's the last game of the season and he is entering unrestricted free agency?
I know that everybody's going to try to connect that, but it's about the sense of pride and I think just the commending him on a hell of a year. Everybody's going to talk about one game, and I know he wanted to play better, but we go through so much over 82 games, and the fact that he was able to turn his season around with a new role and adjusting to coming off the bench for a long period and then, back in the starting lineup and just having fun playing basketball and being at peace out there. I'm more worried about that because I know he's a true champion, and we all, again, prepare ourselves to play, our best when the lights are bright, and when it doesn't happen, nobody needs to tell you anything because all we want to do is win. And numbers aside, that's the only thing that matters.
Steph, it looks like tonight you had 2 and 3 guys following you, like they had a very specific game plan to take you away. Did it feel like that was kind of indicative of the year and trying to figure out how to attack these defenses and how to use that to benefit everybody else, so to speak? Does it feel like this was tougher than normal this year?
Yes and no. I mean, I think there's certain lineups that we have out there that teams are, going to make other people either be ball handlers or shot creators. But we obviously have counters to a lot of stuff. It's just tonight was the extreme version of that, where I know they remember what happened last year, and a lot of history with Mike B and the way that he approaches the defensive end. So I wasn't surprised that it was that aggressive and bodies everywhere. I think we had certain stretches of the game where we made them pay, but over the course of 48, that strategy worked. So you tip your hat to them. I always try to find ways to still be aggressive, and had a couple, loose turnovers, but for the most part, they just took it to us the whole game, and there's really no other way around it.
You said you can hold your head high knowing that there's a lot more in the tank. What gives you confidence that you and the core of you, Clay, and Draymond have a lot more in the tank?
Just knowing how we're built. I mean, we obviously understand the league has changed, and we're getting deeper into our careers, and we have to continue to evolve and make the necessary adjustments to win games. But we put a lot of time into it. I think I work harder than I ever have at being prepared for a season and trying to perform at the level that I expect. And I know those two guys have been through it with me. at the end of the day, I just want to win, and I know that that's fully possible. I know the summer's going to be a lot of conversations and trying to set up ourselves to win, and whatever that means. I hope that's the outcome.
What do you think about your season with Chris Paul, and I guess your view on his future, either with you guys or not?
Haven't played against him for so many years. There's a lot said about our relationship when I was coming out of college and shadowing him for a summer or two, and him showing me the ropes, and then obviously the playoff experiences that we had playing against him. I know him, his family. I know the way he approaches things, but when you see it on a day-to-day through the course of the season, you see how passionate he is about the game of basketball, the conversations you have, the way that we kind of push each other. I had so much fun playing with him. I know he's year 19, and I don't know how this thing will play out, but he is a guy that you love playing with because he brings it every single day. He gives everything he has to this game. A guy that you kind of battle with who puts the most time in. Like you think you're at the gym early, he's always there. So it's kind of great to see somebody that loves the game as much as you do. And I know he's always going to find ways to try to be impactful. And we'll see what happens over the course of the summer. But a team, having him is a better team because of the way he approaches everything.
Steph, following up on Kendra's question, Steve talked often about how much pressure Klay puts on himself, and he struggled the last few elimination games. How do you see him? How difficult is that when the lights are brightest for him to put pressure on himself? How do you, as a friend and teammate, do you say anything to him? Do you see that? Do you see him put that pressure on himself? Or I'm curious your thoughts on.
I see him approach the game the right way, and it just hasn't worked out. Hasn't worked out for him individually with the numbers and the way that he expects to play, and that's okay. It happens. This is sports. It's unpredictable, and we've all been in that experience where you have amazing highs, and he's had those, and we've all had deep lows where you walk off the court and you're super hard on yourself because you wished it would have gone in a different way. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just part of what we do and how hard it is of what we do over and over and how long we've been doing it. So the spotlight is bright, and you have to accept the highs and lows of what we do, but not lose confidence in yourself. And I think Klay's been a walking model of that. Earlier in the year, people were talking about his play, and he responded. So it's a tough way to end the season, but I'm sure he'll be back strong.
Steph, how do you feel, I guess, physically? You've had to carry a heavy load, especially with some of the changes that's been going on, on the floor in the last maybe quarter. Did you feel fatigued? Did you feel the burden? I mean, you talked about Chris Paul being in year 19. You're, what, year 15? How do you feel?
I know I'm answering this question April 16th with no more games left, but I feel great. If we had to play Friday, I'd have been fine. If, going to a playoff series, I'd have been fine. Like, I'm built for this, and I put so much time in. And then, there's no sympathy, you had this burden to carry and all that. That's what we get paid to do. And, did everything in my power to be available and perform at the level that I expect of myself. I don't care what anybody else has to say, and I think I'm going to keep doing that. And just be with the perspective I'm blessed to play this game, and I still have fun playing this game. And, again, I just want to win and be in the best situation to make that happen. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the future.
Steph, you talked about the highs and the lows and all the emotions. What did you enjoy most about playing with this particular group of guys this season?
Just how we've handled all the adversity of this year. it's been an emotional roller coaster for sure. And you realize how much time you spend together. I think we talk about that every year. This is 9-10 months of a grind, and from the time this group showed up to some voluntary mini camps in the summer to training camp to all 82 games we played, and again everything that we went through, from some guys missing from time to time, losing a member of our family, to looking up in the stands and trying to find a way to stay relevant down the stretch of the year. Like we always kept our spirit and kept the juices flowing in the right direction and kept good energy and confidence in each other. That's hard to do. So I'm proud of that, because there's plenty of excuses that you could have let go of the rope a long time ago. And, we had a really good, strong finish to the season. Still the 10 seed, but it was weird, but you're in a position where you have life, and that's all you ask for. It just didn't work out.
Just, I guess, big picture, what do you feel like the young guys on this team can take away from this experience this season, and moving forward, how can their development help get you guys to where you want to go?
We asked a lot of BP, Trace, and JK took another step, a big step in the right direction. So invaluable reps to understand how hard it is to win in this league, and what it takes to be consistent every single night. So hopefully they instilled some confidence in themselves that they can contribute, and will carry that momentum into the summer, where they put the work in, and whatever mixture of roster we have coming back, we're going to need some youth to come in and help us. And I think we found some gems for sure. So it's just a matter of continue to make the necessary adjustments as a team to understand what's the 24-25 Warriors going to look like, and what's it going to take to win. I think they felt that all year, and hopefully learned some valuable lessons.
Steph, Draymond and the coach just mentioned they want Clay come back next season. How confident are you that he will be back next season?
I can never see myself, not with those two guys. I understand this league changes, and there's so many things that go into it, and we're not going to play forever, but we've experienced so much together, and at the end of the day, again, I know they want to win. I know I want to win, and that's all I worry. That's all I'm worried about.
So it sounds like you think little changes, little tweaks are reasonable, and you guys can win with that, and big changes aren't necessary.
I'm talking to Mike and Coach, and this league, you never know, man. It's raw right now. Just sitting here, gonna be figuring out if I want to watch the playoffs or not on April 16th. This is not this is unfamiliar territory. So even to answer that question, it's I just want to win, and whatever that means, I want to win.
Cool. Is that it? Great. Thank you. Appreciate that.